expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
AMP2.TV presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.TV. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Hello, everyone. We are here with Kendra Live. I am Kendra Erica, and Tell Us Your Biz. And it's a wonderful day here in South Florida. Actually, the weather is starting to get one polar. Oh, I have to speak into the microphone here. I should know that I'm a singer, but but anyway, so I'm Kendra Erica, and yeah, we're just gonna be talking about mental health today, and how that is an issue that should not be overlooked in our country and in our world for that matter. And just right off the bat, I'm going to say you can call in at 888-565-1470, and we would love to take questions, and you can talk to me and also to my lovely guest today, Dr. Janae Lamosky. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks, Kendra. Thanks for inviting me and having me on the show.
Of course. Yeah. And, just tell everybody about your background.
Okay. So I'm a licensed psychologist, and I have my own private practice in East Boca Raton off Camino Gardens Boulevard for about 14 years now. And I have a bunch of different specialties, but mainly I work a lot with trauma. I'm a hypnotherapist. I do EMDR, which is called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And I do a multi-sensory program called Power Movement Therapy. And if anyone knows me, they know that I put out a lot of inspirational thoughts every day. And this is really for like my power movement thoughts, which again, using the mind and body to help people heal and just push through whatever is not serving them well.
Yeah, and I mean, just from our conversations and everything like that, I mean, just focusing on mental wellness, because I don't really want to consider it mental illness, but just like saying mental wellness is the key word, because it's progressive, and it's something that needs to really develop more with people in general. And I see here that you have a book that you recently wrote. Yes. It's called To Stay or Not to Stay.
Yes.
And what is the premises of it?
So To Stay or Not to Stay, my book, it's actually a workbook for couples that are considering divorce or trying to save their marriage. And it's a step-by-step book. You go through it. It's got lots of different questions, and it's got lots of homework assignments. And it feels like I'm walking through it. I wrote it with a colleague of mine, and we kind of felt like we just wanted to get something that people felt we were there with them without being in a therapy session, kind of helping them get through the book and then help them make like a well thought out decision about whether they want to stay in the marriage or not. So we have chapters like deal breakers, because relationships are difficult and they become challenging, and people stay for all the wrong reasons and some for the right reasons. So this is a really great book. Of course, I'm going to say I believe it is, on helping people make that really well thought out decision, get some clarity in their relationships.
And very well stated. I really appreciate that. And before I forget, you can also stream this on the Facebook page at AMP2 TV Productions, and just join in on the fun. And yeah, so I just want to say this right off the bat here. I did my authentic video recently, all about being, authentic to yourself, which is a it's a powerful message in and of itself. More
I
or less.
listened to it.
Just
Great.
Yeah, and just having pointing out some of like the hypocrisies in our society, because what I see now more than ever is that people are being manipulated, and no one's really being inspired anymore to to want to be a part of a movement, so to say. And and I used a lot of, reality TV show references and a lot of social media references within that video to show some sort of relevant example. And, a lot of people have been like, oh, are you against reality TV? Are you against social media? And I keep on telling them, I'm like, I'm not against anything. My only like personal issue, and it's an issue that is ever growing in our country, is that it's been directed in a way where it's it's turning into something where that it shouldn't have been in the first place. Like social media is a tool for knowledge, information, connection, communication, all those good things.
Right.
But now it's become a breeding ground of jealousy, cyberbullying, and just overall like just like living life in a comparable way, like living for the comparisons in life instead of using it as a broader scope. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts on where you think social media is
I agree
going.
with that, Kendra. It's so true. It's I don't use social media nor like to use it for any personal stuff because it's personal.
Yeah.
I do use it though for like business and networking and connecting with people and trying to really just send out inspirational thoughts for people, because that's what I think is good about it. But I did notice, like, more times than not, each and every day, you'll have one person that says, I need some positivity here. This is like so depressing. There's a lot of stuff that becomes very depressing that's put on social media, and everyone gets impacted by it. I like it, again, if you're going to use it for a personal page, just to, put stuff out, like you said, like we can learn from and grow from or be inspired by, rather than the negativity. And there's some things on there that, people are definitely living their lives from there. I even have people that come into my practice that have anxiety and panic and depression from social media.
Yeah. And I mean, just from having other, therapy sessions, like one of the main causes of mental health right now is the whole social media thing. And it's become a concept that is so prevalent and so frequent in the lives of people, and
people wake up to it and they go to sleep to it.
Exactly.
I mean, people are like getting addicted to it.
Right. And as far as like all the the suicides that have been happening, especially with Kate Spade, Anthony Bourdain, who I've been binging his show recently, Parts Unknown, and I really love it. But and before I forget, please call in at 888-565-1470, and would love to take your calls and join in on this party right now. So, but and because for me, my platform is behavioral science and just diving deep into the minds of people. And I use that sort of like shock value mentality to rattle people or throw the apple of discord, but it's to everyone's benefit and advantage, because it is thought-provoking, and I do post a lot of profound things. So
that's definitely spontaneous. And it's definitely genuine.
It is. And I just I really like to just once again dive deep into why people do the things that they do.
Kind of like what I do
Yeah.
for a living.
It's interesting. It really is, and especially for me as an artist. I mean, I really just love writing about meaningful things. I mean, I always say you'll never hear me or see me write a song about another night out or a night in the club or something like that. So I just really want to be as meaningful as possible, and I'm sure you do as well.
I do. And like what you were saying before about, the suicides, I also know, like, on a personal level, or friends of or acquaintances of people that they announced it on Facebook about suicides. And, that's one thing I know you brought me on here and you wanted me to share a bit of my experience with that. And, people are still holding their demons inside.
Right.
And they're still suffering inside quietly, and that's just obviously not going to result in anything good.
Right.
So there's help out there. I mean, I'm one of them, and there's a lot of help out there on different levels, and they need to reach out. I mean, Kendra, you're someone people can reach out to as well, rather than suffering about something. I mean, share it with someone or ask someone for help, because the alternative, as we know it, is just obviously not good at all.
Yeah, and I mean, just watching parts. I know, and I actually watched the last episode that Anthony Bourdain did, and he was in Berlin, and he was speaking to, I think was it a psychic or a therapist, and he just said, all I want to do is I just want to be happy. Like, no one picked up on that. No one really picked up on that, and this is a very somber and it's a dark issue right now, but I really there's light that can come out of this. So sorry if it's not like all unicorns and everything right now, but I do believe that we will reach a transcending level in our development and our inner development as a country.
And just by you talking about it, I mean, it's shedding some light out there to maybe somebody that's experiencing some sadness or depression or whatever, and hopefully it'll reach them to, or me, to reach them to, talk about what's hurting them, what's bothering them, rather than keeping it inside.
Yeah, and I mean, and as far as the whole, reality TV thing, I mean, we were just discussing, it's become something that it really shouldn't be, like, there's way too much, scripted drama out there, and yes, the nation loves it right now, and I love Southern Charm. That's like the only reality TV based like show that I'll watch, but it's what I've noticed about that show in particular, in comparison to Kardashians or Real Housewives, is that it's the people and on that show in particular, they have real world issues, and yes, there is some sort of there is a sort of like maybe scripted side to it, because they do need to keep people entertained. It's for entertainment,
right?
So, but at the same token, it's more of real world issues.
So there's more substance to it.
There's more substance, and I feel it's more relatable. Whereas, Kardashians, Real Housewives, it's just all about, dressing up
themselves,
and flaunting themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And using a platform for themselves. And I just don't really see the philanthropic side to it. I mean, yes, a lot of them are doing like amazing things, and don't get me wrong, I wish everyone the best and success and happiness, because that's what we all want. We just want to be happy.
Right.
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But at the same time, like, don't use like your little like flash in the pan or philanthropic work just to throw off the scent that you're actually doing it for self-gain.
Right, exactly.
And
like in disguise.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what our youth is seeing now, is just focusing on the superficiality of of everything. And you know, our society, and I was just thinking this to myself yesterday. I was like driving. I have like such good thoughts when I'm driving. But I was driving, and I was thinking, you know, our society is just so focused on you know, making sure that everyone has like that sort of you know, shell around them, like making sure everything is developed on a superficial level, and there's not that much inner development going on. It's like it's almost like, yes, you have this beautiful house that it's so manicured on the front lawn and it just looks beautiful, but inside it's a clutter, you know, or it's just not, well, it's not comfortable.
I think that's really true what you say about being more superficial, and that on the outside people are more worried about looking the right way and behaving a certain way, but what's really going on inside. And I think that's why we're missing it with people that are suffering from depression and end up committing suicide, because the focus is so much on the outside versus the inside. And the inside is everything, as you know.
Yeah, it most definitely is. And with that whole sentiment of you know, just that, like the whole sentiment behind mental stigma and mental synops. I mean, we can conquer our minds. We can.
I just put out something today. I don't know if you saw it. It was thoughts. What did I put out? It was about thoughts, strength, and healing from within. You are in charge.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, we can choose. Of course, there's special cases, but we can choose to be happy. It's our attitude about life. We can choose to be negative. We can choose to be positive. You know, people don't realize that, or they say it's not easy. And I agree, it's not easy. And you know, our moods and situations come in the way, but you can make a choice to be more positive. You can make a choice,
correct,
you know, to have that attitude, to look at things in a better way. You know, I mean, life is not a straight line. There's a lot of like hills and a lot of different curveballs that we go through, but the strength comes from within, and you have to use that to push forward and, you know, have the wellness that you want.
Precisely. And you know, I just really hope that our youth can move forward in that fashion, and knowing that they do have a choice. They can conquer their mentality.
As long as we can get them off electronics. Yes. I have a 10-year-old, and that's my challenge.
And what's crazy is now Toys R Us just went out of business. Like,
I know,
it's
and
crazy.
I had nothing to get my son because he only wants electronics.
Yeah.
And he did say, well, he says, "Mom, while you come on to that pretty girl Kendra's show, can you please talk about me and say how much you love me?" So I love you, Elon.
Shout out to the son. Love it. No, and Elon is he's great. He really is.
Pie, yeah.
But yeah, just call in. The number is 888-565-1470. That is 1470. Or yeah, just and also you can stream on Facebook at AMP2 TV Productions, and just you know, just witness the thoughts unraveling right now.
Good thoughts.
good thoughts. And we're talking about like Toys R Us and everything, and it got me thinking. And I even posted something. I was like, it's not about the us anymore. It's about the I, like iPad, like iPhone, I this,
that's
I
so
that.
true.
And, you know, as we've seen, we're, you know, going in a more like selfish direction with our society. So, and I mean, and that's great. And I just hope that, and I mean, I'm not one to be like negative. I'm just here to be, you know, real and just you know, just insightful with how I see things. And
but you're being realistic. So
being realistic, and because I just like wrote this quote down the other day. I was like, being real means finding solutions all the time. Like, yes, you can list all the problems and how they're affecting you, but being real is finding the solutions from the problems.
Not just staying stuck in the problem.
Not just saying, like, not just, you know, doing a whole, like, carousel and beating around the bush. And
it's exactly what I use. I say get off the merry-go-round.
Get off the merry-go-round and not let it be a broken record. Because actually, I want to hear the full song. I just don't want to hear, like, one part being repeated, you know? So, and...
Well, we want a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yes, exactly. I want a sense of completion.
Yeah, exactly.
And to not leave things unattended.
Right.
Unattended baggage may be discarded.
Right. Right. Leave that at the door.
Leave that at the door. But yeah, and I just want to, like, you know, just say that if anyone is dealing with, you know, any sort of, like, mental dilemma, or you know, if anyone is really struggling, just don't be afraid to, like, reach out. So, and to
you can reach out to me.
reach out to Dr.
I'm right
Janae.
in East Boca.
Reach out, you know, to me even, because I really want to. I just really want to be, you know, a voice of reason for a lot of people out there, and that's genuinely, like, what I want for myself as an artist, and to see the broader scope of opportunity out there.
And it's refreshing that you want to share positive messages.
Yeah.
Some artists actually do share some sad or depressing messages. I mean, it's their life and their thing, and you're an artist, so whatever comes out comes out.
Yeah.
But you tend to go more towards wanting to share the positive stuff out there and what's meaningful, and that's really refreshing, because I think we need that to look up to people like that, especially for our children, and want them to have the people that inspire them in a good way and in a positive way. Yeah,
and to like you said, inspire and not manipulate to have a sense of following, you know, and
allow them to just be themselves, to have their own sense of identity.
Yes,
versus be like the others.
Right, and what I've noticed is that especially with this whole celebrity mentality, is that people just want that sense of fame, but at the same time, like, when I was just at the MTV Movie Awards, I mean, I made sure that I was not only, like, taking photos with these people and meeting them, but just, you know, meeting them and getting to know them because I valued their work, you know, and
you were interested in them as well. It wasn't just for the photos. It wasn't just to meet them.
And it's like, I just don't want to be another one out there that I get asked to take selfies with, but no one's, like, interested on, you know, the process that I've, you know, gone through.
How you got there, exactly.
Yeah. And just making sure that, and ensuring that sense of iconicism, you know, and I mean, the word icon nowadays, it's definitely evolved due to this, like, celebrity mentality, but I just, you know, really want to be some sort of, like, a leader for people, and to be vulnerable, because I mean, I have, like, struggled with my own sense of, like, mental dilemmas and you know, mental, you know, wellness you know, issues, and I really have, you know, come a long way now. And whether it's, you know, maturity or me just you know, taking my life in a really, you know, solutionized way, I feel like that has really helped me in my growth.
I think you also found meaning in your life, and I think a lot of people without a purpose and not being able to put meaning into their lives get depressed or withdraw or isolate from society. So we definitely have to have a passion. I notice that with people that come into my practice, and I see you, Kendra, you have such a passion, and that keeps you moving forward.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's, you know, when you have a passion about something and you're doing it with your heart, you know, it's easier to get through each day because you have a focus. And there are a lot of people that just don't have that at all, and they're trying to create it, and some people aren't, but that definitely changes the way you're going to feel about life and about yourself if it's not there.
Right. And to always be proactive with your life and in general, and just seeing, like, being 10 steps ahead, and to always just just to be 10 steps ahead. And it's especially with music right now, like me being an artist and constantly in the studio writing, I always want to, you know, see the bigger picture, and to think, okay, how is this going to sound like 2 years from now? Like, you always need to be ahead of the game. And
it's like the game of chess, right?
Yes.
You have to think your moves way ahead.
You really do, and you and just to have that sense of, like, inner security, and I just really want to you know, say thank you for coming on the
Thank
show
you so much
today.
Absolutely.
So this is Kendra Live. Tell us your biz, and it's a beautiful day in South Florida, actually. So, and I just want to say thank you to AMP2 TV Productions and to Freddie and everyone.
We got 1 minute. So I want to say thank you to Kendra for having me on.
Thank you.
And she knows we've connected definitely more so as we've known each other later on in the years.
Yes.
And her mind is pretty spectacular, and you definitely have developed and grown, and people should really hear what you have to say.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And be sure to get, where can people buy your book?
Amazon.com, To Stay or Not to Stay. It's Dr. Janae Lomaski, and my website is drjlomaski.com. And if you need me, it's 561-777-2021.
Very nice. And you can check out all my new music at kendraerica.com. And I have a new single releasing soon, so seatbelts ready.
Awesome.
Seatbelts ready. And so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.